Hi, my name's Steve Nichols. I'm 28 years old from Round Pond, Maine, and I want to be the first top hooker. I mean, I can remember, there's a lot of firsts that I can't remember. I can't really say that I really remember my first kiss or my first dance at school or anything like that, but I can definitely remember the first time I caught a fish. The first time I caught a fish, I was ice fishing with my dad on Boy Pond and jigged up a little yellow perch, and I couldn't figure out how to use the reel because ice had gunked up around the reel, and I just remember running over to him, you know, and ended up dragging with about 16 feet of line a little yellow perch behind it, and I know that was my very first fish. It's all early memories. I can remember everything. I remember my first striper. There was a thunderstorm coming in. It was a real big thunderstorm, actually, and I'd never really done much striper fishing. I had 2 snelled hooks off of a snap swivel with 2 mackerel on each one, and it was low tide. I'd thrown them out off the sandbar, stuck the rod in the sand, and was sitting there, and my parents were yelling at me to come up because it was starting to thunder and lightning, and all of a sudden my rod took off screaming, and it was you could see the boil. And then my dad got really excited because he'd done a lot of striper fishing down on the vineyard and everything, and he knew, you know, wow, he's actually got a fish on. He came down, 37-inch striper, my first one. I'm auditioning for top hooker because I think it would be an amazing experience. I've always fished for fun, for food, for a living, and I just think like this is something I should do. I've definitely learned to roll with the punches through the seasons living in Maine. Been here 28 years, and I mean, we do everything from going smelting to going fly fishing for brook trout to going striper fishing if there's any around. I think I'm going to be able to handle any kind of challenge they're going to throw at me. I mean, ice fishing, that's totally different than rod fishing, and I mean, I've done it all. I go ice fishing, I go fly fishing, I've gone offshore jigging for codfish, I fish for mackerel. I mean, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of a kind of fishing that I couldn't do, and I have trouble thinking of that. I grew up here. The ocean, the area around here trained me to be what I am, and all I do is fish. I live to fish, love to fish, you name it. If it has to do with fish, I love it. My motivation for competing on Top Hooker is because I feel like there isn't really going to be anybody who's as well-rounded in the fishing scene as I am. If it has to do with fishing, I mean, I don't care if I have to throw a lure in a cup or I have to catch fish barehanded or spear something. I'm going to figure out how to do it. I'm going to figure out how to do it fast. I mean, I'm from Maine. If you're from Maine, you have to figure out how to adapt to things and adapt to things fast, or you can't live here. That's why not a lot of people do live here. And I know you mentioned that one of the things you're looking for on Top Hooker is a lot of energy. And when I get excited fishing, there's nobody who has more energy than me. I take a lot of crap from it from my friends. When I go ice fishing, every fish that I have on the end of the hook, you know, whether it's 2 pounds or 10 pounds, it's 10 pounds until it gets to the hole. And, you know, it's been the same with lobstering. I'm always looking forward to what's in the next trap. And I think, you know, Top Hooker is going to be a lot like that. What's the next challenge? Who's this next person I'm going to be competing against? Who am I going to meet? Absolutely fly fishing for brook trout. I love it. And when I say fly fishing for brook trout, I mean fly fishing for 6 to 10-inch native brook trout. There's nothing like catching a brook trout that, you know, grew up in the water where you're from. You went out, tied a fly that looks like something it ate. You hauled it up, you catch it. If you kill it, you eat it. It's just, it gets you back in touch with nature. Oh, I hunt. I've trapped. My grandfather was a big trapper. actually learned most of what I know about fishing and hunting and trapping from my grandfather. It was great to sit with him and talk with him about everything. I miss him a lot, and I really think that, you know, this would be something that he'd be proud of me for, getting on this show. Where's these fish? Lost them again, I think.
Looking for bluefish. Honey mackerel.
I don't know. I think if I get on Top Hooker, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I think I'm going to be able to show the world what somebody from Maine can do.